recording is started.
Hooray!
Great.
So here we are again.
It's always such a pleasure.
Remember when you tried to kill me?
Kill you twice.
Thrice, actually, in this case. But yeah.
I mean,
Oh, how we laughed and laughed, except we wasn't laughing.
Under the circumstances, you've been awfully nice.
I know. We'll just give Jake a little longer to read his character, probably.
I've read it.
What skills do I
you
even
haven't
have?
made a name, though. You have to add a name in late.
Oh man, my skills are the
I'm working on
best.
that.
Oh,
Yeah, professional turnip maker.
don't rely on me to do anything with skills.
I guess I have to do everything, but that is what it supposed to be.
Characters, you'll figure it out. Now to give you a bit of background, currently, you've been picked up in this city in your various ways. Most of you have either been enslaved by bugbears and then taken for the ninth knot, or you have you were in prison for whatever reason, or you simply milled about at the outskirts of the city and saw that there was some opportunity here. And why the hell not? Again, really depends on your character. Also, this hitbox commercial is really distracting me. Can I mute the commercial somehow?
Yes, you can.
How?
There's a mute button on the
Nope.
stream.
There's no mute button.
There isn't.
No, the whole stream has been replaced by a commercial.
I have muted.
Move commercial away.
Technical difficulties, everyone.
Commercial away!
Alright. Let's see here. And so, this day, you have realized that there's something going on. I mean, there are some trumpet noises and whatnot, and a whole lot of rummaging about, and, you were sort of just doing your separate things, but you're told that, by some hurried people, that you go to the center of town. You need to talk to the lords. They have something for you to do. Now go.
No.
And as you sort of walk up, I mean, how do you stand here? As you walk up, how do you in sort of this here is the town hall, and you sort of here. How's your characters position themselves?
Well, who told us to go there?
One of the lieutenants.
What does he look like?
He's a big Hell Knight dude.
Yeah.
I suppose this can't be avoided then.
Well,
What a brute.
Hi, Grand the Farmer.
What? Who?
just
Maybe we should also describe our characters, how we look.
Oh, sure. As you walk, you haven't really seen each other before. But let's begin then with... let's begin from down here and then go like this. In an M shape.
Okay.
Describe the character. What does she look like?
Like her picture.
Well, more detail.
You mean clothes?
Yeah, and what she is.
Well, Saidya is an aristocrat, and she's really full of herself, and she really knows that she is better than everyone, because, she's an aristocrat, a noble.
What does she look like physically?
I guess oh, wait, I forgot she had that closed thing. She has noble clothing, very nice fabric, and over it she has a mithril chain sword. You can see her sigil on it. It's a heirloom. And she also has her signet rings, daggers, and a very fabulous hat. The most fabulous hat you've ever seen.
Sure. You can, of course, ask each other questions, but if there's no questions, we can move on.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how much of a head is it?
Well, I couldn't find a token with an elf that has a fabulous hat on, but it is a hat. It's 10.
10, okay. That's
The most
a
fabulous.
head.
Any other questions? Well, yes. Playing the role of the criminal is Elizabeth Baker. She is a she is a slightly short human woman with long black hair reaching down past her neck. With kind of an emerald green. Her eyes are almost emerald green, and she has the makeup matching it. She in herself, she always stands quite confident, though at the same time, kind of in a way not to draw attention. She herself is dressed in most moderately dark clothing, and visible she has a short bow and a short sword on her. Other than that, she seemed to have a small satchel full of, well, you have no idea. She never seems to really even flinch too much. She always seems to be quite cool, calm, and collected. She hasn't really paid much eye to most of you, though if the farmer was to come close and start hitting on her, just quietly dismiss.
But I wouldn't hit a lady. That's just rude.
Yes, I apologise for my choice of words. Now, keep walking.
Oh, it's no problem at all. No problem at all, lady. That's fine. So, yeah, I guess next is Grump's Turnips. He looks like a farmer. When you look at him, you're probably not really sure what he's doing here, and you get the feeling that he is not sure really what he's doing here either. He looks kind of, he looks around and smiles a lot and seems rather friendly and completely oblivious to most of the things going on around him. He's a big dude. Kind of. He's not really muscular as such. He's more like flab. But he looks fairly tough and robust as farmers can do. It's a hard life on the farm after all, and somehow he's surviving out here. He does have 2 spears over his shoulder, and he has big hands, like Brucey knuckle hands. He could probably punch you pretty good. He doesn't look very smart, and he's smiling friendly to most people around him, nodding and walking along. So he also has a satchel that you see like a few like turnips and carrots and things sticking out of. He keeps that very close.
Sentimental turnips.
I think
How old does this farmer look?
he looks like in maybe his 40s. It's kind of hard to say though. He has like this big blondish beard.
How fabulous is his beard?
It's pretty good. It's a bit unkempt and such. He hasn't really been grooming it much. He doesn't seem to think too much about personal hygiene. There's certainly a distinct smell of like fertilizing poo around him. But in a good way. He smells like a wholesome country place.
He smells like a country place.
Yeah, smells like horse.
Yes, on that note, the bad cop.
Bad cop, yes. Tom Huckabee. He's kind of he looks kind of brutish, kind of definitely muscular. He's seen a scrap or two, but he's always carrying like a broad smile on his face, and generally, despite his appearances, seems like a rather pleasant guy to be around, perhaps. Then again, he doesn't really seem like the cop you'd want to have to rely on, since he doesn't really seem to take things too seriously. As long as the money is right, he's going to do anything. That's the kind of feeling you get from him. But, for this kind of job, he might be pleasant company as well as a good help for whatever it is we have to do here. As for appearances, he's basically wearing like what looks to be part of an old uniform, together with like a splint mail and some clothes that look almost scavenged. So he's probably not in the best kind of. His dress doesn't look too amazing, but it works for him. And considering the situation the town is in, perhaps being properly dressed is not the highest priority right now. So yeah.
Not the highest priority for you, maybe.
Elizabeth is fabulous.
Yeah.
Of course, darling.
Alright, so the cultist is Agni Trunts. And he's got on... Well, you get the kind of vibe from him that maybe he's not... Like, he's kind of shifty, he's kind of sly, you know? But, all in all, he seems pretty happy to be here. Like, everyone else, they're kind of like, oh, maybe I don't know if we like working for this guy yet, but he's happy. He is having a good time working for his new boss here. He's only been around for a couple weeks, you haven't really seen him around before. And yeah, but he's carrying a mace and he's wearing a chain shirt, and he looks like he could handle himself alright in a fight anyway, so he's good to have around in case that happens. But he looks like maybe he's not, that's not his specialty. And he's wearing a backpack and kind of got like an executioner's hood on, almost. I mean, no shirt really under his chain shirt. You can see his skin between the links.
That's
yeah.
not nice. That's gonna pinch.
Ah, he doesn't care.
No.
He likes it.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's just strange. Huh?
Yeah.
And so, as you move up towards the town hall, hurriedly, maybe looking a bit to each other, out the door opens and light sort of falls out. As you see a shining mask surrounded by slithering snakes move out towards you. Behind this character is another large one, considerably looking like an Oni, walking slightly behind. Isabel looks upon you, or with rather her snakes do, and they do not seem to like what they see. Fools, idiots, and morons. Must we do everything ourselves? Okay. You sort of look at this is way above you, generally. You don't get this close to anyone. It's important. You dare loaf around this city while the lords lose their equipment due to fights with celestial beings? How dare you? If you do not find it, I will sacrifice every single one of you. Looks at you. Find Lord Assyria's equipment, at least, or face the Master's eternal wrath. Behind her, the Oni sort of seems tired, shakes his head a little bit. Don't you think we should give them some help at least? They have no chance of their own. Isabel sort of doesn't turn, but the snakes sort of slither in his direction. Help? Help? Help just breeds weakness. As Lord Chiron says, only the strong are worthy to serve. He sort of shrugs and says, do you really want to find the equipment or not? The Lords will not be pleased if... Fine. We'll cuddle them this time, I suppose. But don't come crying to me when they turn soft. Ryder steps forward, takes out something, hands it towards Higgleby. Huggleby.
Huckleberry. Come.
Here. First, you need to know what happened. Some of the masters are indisposed. Their things seem to have been taken by, well, whoever really. Your mission is to find it and keep it intact. bring it back. Yeah. Sort of looked at it and says, it might be dangerous. There are ettins, ogres, goblins, and other such things around. They don't really care what humans they attack and eat. You'll need this city map. He gives you a map of the city, and this. And he hands you a small bag, well, a large bag of 200 gold pieces. He sort of shrugs for bribes. He looks at Isabel. Do you think they need anything else? More? You've already given them too much. She looks at the money. Shrug. Well, yes, all right. I suppose we'll, well, Grumblejack, the ogre, will be your aid. He's, do what he says. He's always great on missions like this. He sort of smiles slyly. He looks at Isabel. Anything else? She shrugs. Get out of my sight, you pathetic worms. Grumblejack will find you out here soon. If you fail, do not bother returning at all. This is a life or death mission.
Tom will nod vigorously, saying, "Yeah, yes, we will not disappoint."
Both of them turn and go back into the town hall. There seems to be an awful glum silence in there.
Tom will turn to the rest of the minions here, money in one hand, map in the other, and say, "Well, you heard the lady and that thing behind her. We should
What was that thing? I'd never seen anything quite like it. It was big and red. Was it a cow?
I don't think it was a cow.
It had horns, I mean.
It wasn't a cow.
Let's get our job done with correctly then, so we don't have to find out what it was.
What was our job? I mean,
We find some stuff and then we don't get killed. That's our job.
But who got hit and what now? I mean,
Just be silent, will you?
what?
Hand me the gold and the stuff. I'm the most capable of that.
You can get the map, but I think I'll keep the gold. I'm a good bookkeeper.
I think I'm best to do this.
Elizabeth eyes look forward.
I'm sure you think you're best for everything.
Clearly,
No, I know.
clearly the best way of doing this is ensuring that any one of us looks at the farmer. Most of us are ready for any situation.
I can't do skill checks, Manikai.
No, I'm ready, lady. Don't you worry about that. I have fought a cow in my life. He hoisted his spear. If there's anything like that out there, I'll just poke him with a pointy end.
We might need stuff other than just be able to poke a cow.
You'll have to roll skill checks manually.
Okay.
Well, being able to poke a cow, that's at least some skill.
No,
Nonetheless,
it's not.
each of us having a bit of it is not a bad idea.
I suppose.
I don't trust you to have the
Well,
gold.
you don't have to trust me.
Yeah. I don't want you to just use gold for whatever you are gonna do.
Oh, you lady, listen, I know a thing about brides, let me tell you.
Think you can call me stuff like that?
Oh, what do you want me to call you then? Do you want to be called Peter? Cow?
Is she not a lady? Well, I don't understand.
She slaps him in the face. Don't talk to me like that.
I
She
see you're
does.
one of those.
You hear heavy footsteps of something large moving around the corner of the building.
Is there anything Elizabeth can duck behind?
Oh, sure, there's lots of trash and whatnot.
She would attempt to disappear for now.
There's a large, full-plated ogre with a great sword. You'll recognize him as
I
Grumble.
thought he had a mace.
Walks around the corner and sort of sits down in front of you, looking at you, grumbling.
Well, he is a big fellow, isn't he? Oh, goodness me. He does have horn too, though. You see that? He sort of nudges Huckleby. Everyone has horns in this city.
For the love of God, please don't call him a cow.
He looks at you, sort of, his eyes resting slightly on each of you. Then he moves to look above you, and sort of nods in that direction for you to look as well.
Well, sure, let's look.
As you turn around, you see a bit further ahead. There's a group of bugbears led by a rather large bugbear who has a very, very, very large greatsword. Jack looks at it, rests his eyes upon it. She looks at you, looks back to it. He says, "That is Bursa God Eater." She looks at you.
I'm sure it is. Who is him? Is he also sort of was about to say a cow, but stops himself.
There's well, he put up a contest. Whoever can get him one of each type of booze from this city can get that sword. He looks at you. Now, I've tried, and since these equipment could be anywhere in the city, he sort of stops looking, looks at you. This might give us an idea of where to begin.
All right. I mean, if has the big thing over there, sort of, he motions his hands over there. Do you think is the equipped whatever it was there?
She sits and sort of waves at three bugbears. Come over, looking up at him. Says, "Do you know where Lord of Sirius's equipment is?" Shakes his head. Nods to the other one. "Do you?" Also shakes his head. The last one. "Do you?" Also shakes his head. He looks at you. "Well, I suppose we have nothing else to go on." We should start, I think, with the boss. Perhaps whoever has it has gotten thirsty from carrying all that stuff.
Oh, it's brilliant! Brilliant! Yes, that's what I would go.
Whatever you say, boss.
He stands up and he sort of gives a slight grin, looking at you. As he begins lumping off.
I guess we follow.
All right.
Grump Turnip will follow at least.
Sure.
Yes.
Breaking cover, Elizabeth will quietly follow along.
So as he follows along, he will reach over to let's see. He'll go for Huckleby. He says, "Hello."
Well, hey there.
And reaches out a hand of Grump Turnips.
Tom will return the handshake and say, "I'm Tom Huckleby."
Oh, it's nice meeting you, Tom. It's nice. You seem like a nice fellow.
So do you, but please don't call anything in the city a cow. Just don't mention the word cow to anyone. Just because they have horns doesn't mean they are cows.
But that's what I've seen before. So if it's a horn, it's a cow. If it has no horns, it's a horse. It's easy to remember that way.
Perhaps calling anything an animal in here might get us killed, so please don't.
Really? What do you think?
Some shrugs.
You're currently in the Duward of that town hall. You're walking towards out.
So, hello. Grump reaches out a hand to Agni.
Hello.
Grump Turnips. He smiles friendly.
Agni Trunts.
Oh, Trans. I seem to recall someone named Trans once. Oh, that rhymed. So do you know anything of these? You seemed eager. I mean...
Yes, they are our masters, and we will serve them in every way.
I guess, I mean...
And we won't call them cows.
Yes. I don't know what to call them. Anyway. Sure, I've gotten food. That's nice. Wasn't much food left on the old farm, I gotta say, huh?
I can't imagine. What with them being burned to the ground and such.
It's true. It was quite the fire, actually. I did manage to save some things. He pats his satchel. Good turnips, mind. Those are very nice. Perhaps when this is done, we can share some.
Perhaps. I've never been partial to turnips, though.
Well, they're quite excellent, quite excellent. I mean, can get a bit boring after a while, but, if you boiled it correctly,
I'm sure they're great.
Have you ever boiled a turnip?
I can't say I have.
Well, you missed out, my boy. He sort of pats him on the shoulder.
He kind of flinches a little bit when you touch him.
That stink won't come off for a week.
Yeah, I kind of...
So at the
It's-
moment, are we
it's
just
a little
sitting at a
bit.
table or
At the moment,
No, we're
walking.
walking.
walking? I thought you were.
Grumblejack sees what seems to be a ruin of an old inn. And he sort of goes and looks at the huge chunks of rock sort of piled up. He looks at you and says, go around, find some booze around here. I'll see if there's anything else.
Oh, jeez, mobile
Is,
phones.
doing that?
Turn
I
off
don't
your
know.
mobile phones.
I heard some horrible sound.
I don't know. Might have
If
been my
it's-
phone. I'll make sure it's not
If it's
going to
mine,
happen
I'll
again.
turn it off just in case.
It was probably sheep if you didn't hear it.
It might have
Well,
been my
I-
phone.
I heard it, but
Most definitely.
I'll turn mine off. Anyway.
I'm sorry.
Grub Turnips looks at the ruin. What does it look like?
Well, it's basically it's one of the larger inns, probably a pricey one. But right now, it looks like something very big fell on it from up top and just crushed it, really.
Oh.
The roof is collapsed, everything's... It's just a pile. The walls don't stand anymore. Grumblejack begins to sort of go over there and just with his huge strength pick up pieces of it and throw it to the side. Probably a little hazardous to be around. He doesn't need to pay too much attention to you.
So... oh, Turnips
that-
looks around.
Let's do as he says and search.
Oh, alright. Turnip grabs the closest rock and turns it over.
There's nothing under it.
Oh, that's weird. And goes to another rock and keeps going in this fashion.
Let's not. This area over here, I think, is going to be searched well enough by the larger fellow there. Let's actually have a look around a bit more than just the rocks.
Tom will actually go up to Grump and basically whisper, if it's alcohol, it's probably in a bottle. It's not going to be below a rock.
What? Oh! You're a clever one, are you? I should listen to you, I think. That's probably true. That's probably true. Oh.
What say you we team up and look for this booze ourselves while the others just go stumbling about? If we find it, I'm sure there's a reward for us, maybe?
I guess. I mean, it's not going to be under a rock, so there's a lot of rocks around. Looks about. I guess.
It might. Some of our talents may be more suited to being able to be in groups.
You do see around that, the different bugbears that walk around do look hungrily at you.
Oh,
And
They don't seem
we
to
should
dare to approach when Grumblejack is near.
we should probably move quick.
I guess so.
You're not wrong, lady. Let's not get eaten.
Is there like another? Is there like another building that isn't absolutely crushed? Which
Oh, yeah.
seems a good start.
There seems to be a large, probably some sort of noble villa at some point.
Elizabeth kind of just signals. She kind of like slips away into the slips away quickly in that direction.
What? Who now? Where does it go? She
We
moves
should
pretty fast.
probably follow.
For having so much green on her face, she does move fast, doesn't she?
Tom tries to comprehend what he just said, but then just nods.
I mean, green is not there's not many things that are green are fast. I mean, grass, trees.
Oh yeah. If she had red on her face, she would be faster, right?
Yes. He nods.
stripes.
He nods vigorously. A fox. I saw a fox once. But it's
Like
also
a
not a
red
cow,
bird.
by the way.
So
No,
you're
it's-
ignoring
It's not a cow.
the conversation completely, just follows Elizabeth.
As Elizabeth turns around the corner, she sees what she thought was the sound of someone chucking rocks. Is actually the snoring of one of the heads of an Etin, leaning sort of against the large wall. The other head seems thoroughly annoyed at this amount of noise. Seems to be sitting here, sort of, slumped down. Again, half asleep, really. One head snoring and the other one annoyed. Sort of flitching in and out of sleep. And with it, it seems indeed to have, well, a lot of chandeliers of silver and a few bottles, one of them which seems to be some form of alcohol.